Well, hello and welcome to the unboxing of the C300 Mark II. Literally just arrived in the office and we must be one of the first in the country, if not possibly the world, to have the Mark II version. I might be wrong on that, I don't know. I've seen the pre-production models but not the real thing, so here we go, we're going to open this up. I've seen unboxing videos on YouTube and wondered why you'd want to watch something like this, and you're probably wondering the same thing, but let's just find out what's in the box, what it looks like, and then hopefully later on what it can do. So I'm probably going to have all these kinds of issues. Actually, it does look like it has already been opened. I'd say that the supplier possibly did take a look, a little bit of a nosy around. I mean, I would. Obviously the usual documentation, 2-year Canon warranty, by the look of it. Something on EOS Pro. No, well, we're Adobe, so that doesn't apply. And something, oh, this is professional services. Hopefully we won't need those, well, certainly not straight away. And the manual, which is always good, no doubt in half a dozen different languages. Right, but let's get to the more interesting part. Looks like we've got something hidden behind here. It's always going to be awkward unboxing something on camera, but let's see how it goes. Looks like we've got 2 plugs. They look exactly the same. Well, we'll find out why, hopefully. Just see, they are exactly the same. Yeah, they've got the same number on them, so they do look exactly the same. Right, what's in the next layer? Right, well, let's have a look underneath here. This is interesting. This looks a little bit different from what I anticipated. But I'm expecting that the main camera will be in here. Let's see if I can get this out. Now, of course, it's not going to be too different from Mark I. Slightly bigger, slightly heavier. Let's see. It's actually rather hard to do this on camera. It's a little bit different, but there we go. That there is the C300 Mark II edition. Beautiful. Doesn't look terribly different. Large exhaust at the back. Of course, because it's shooting 4K, which is the great appeal with the Mark II. Well, let's see what else is in the box. And maybe you're thinking, why the C300 Mark II? I mean, as a production company, we've always been slightly ahead of the game. We were filming in HD before any client wanted HD. And we were using 35mm lenses before the DSLR revolution. And then we've been filming in 3D, so 4K does seem like the next step, and since we've been using the C100, 300 and 500, it just seems a natural thing to go on to. This looks like an eye cup, quite big. I hear that it does have an improvement on the viewfinder, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. What else have we got in here? Lots of things hidden in different parts. The leads. It could be for the handle, I'll soon find out. Put that down here, maybe nothing. And, oh, is this the battery? Because it does use different batteries, which we have ordered a spare as well. As it's not any point ordering a camera without a spare battery. You just know it's not going to be enough. Yes, and flat is what I would expect. Okay, we've got one battery. What else have we got in here? I missed something there, something hidden. I guess one of the things about recording an unboxing, which is interesting, is you can see how to packet it. You need to send it back again, hopefully not, but you'll see how it was packed. I always forget about where everything was put and how it was wrapped. But I guess an unboxing is a solution to that. Oh, I just heard something beep at me. Maybe, or some other noise. But that looks like our viewfinder. Lovely. That looks really nice. Again, an improvement. Being in 4K, I want to see how that works, because although we're going to use a Atomos Shogun with it for monitoring and also possibly recording and backup, but being able to see it clearly because it's shooting in 4K, that plus the face recognition autofocus will be interesting to see how that works. And there will be other videos, no doubt, that we'll post as we discover how it works, or doesn't work maybe. Right, this is all a little bit awkward. But okay, we've got a power adapter, which makes complete sense. And we're almost at the end of this very exciting video. A handle, which I always used to put on cameras, but recently with the gimbals, the Ronin gimbal that we put our cameras on, I've taken them all off for balancing, and so I don't use them as much. But I used to always have them because I never liked having the thought of a camera dropping off if I was ever having to take it around, especially like filming on a boat or something like that. Actually, interestingly enough, I just noticed that there's a Allen key there. Just talking about gimbals, they all come with Allen keys, but I'm not sure what that one's for. Be interesting to find out. And finally, what have we got here? Well, no surprises. It's a battery charger, but it is dual, which is again useful, but it only comes with one battery. So you do have to buy another one. And I wonder if they charge simultaneously. We'll find out. I think we could be getting to the end. Oh no, there's something left in here. Some other bits and pieces, little bits of nuts and bolts, which we'll have to make sure we do not lose and find a place for. There's some kind of bracket there, which, now that's interesting. I'm not immediately sure what that is. It probably is blindingly obvious to those who know, but for some reason, is that a bracket? Well, we'll find out exactly what that does. That does look like a means of attaching to tripod release mechanisms of some sort. I don't know, but we'll find out. I think we might be at the end. No, there's one more secret compartment there. Oh, of course, the handle. And one of the things I do like about these cameras is the fact that they can be taken apart, or kind of modular for different filming situations. Well, that's the unboxing of the C300. There's nothing else secretly hidden. But we're looking forward to using this camera and seeing what it can do in 4K. Right, now here we are, and it's fully out of the box and partially put together. You can now see the handle and the viewfinder on the top, which is certainly a good improvement, I believe. Certainly over the C100, which I'm probably more familiar with than the C300 MII. Also the viewfinder, which again is an improvement. We haven't switched it on yet, we're just waiting for the battery to charge a bit more. But if you're wondering why it's on the left, it's because my left eye is my better eye. And a little cap on there, which is interesting. I know the C100, the viewfinder was so bad, I never ever used it. So actually having something to put on it like that is not a bad idea. That's quite a useful thing. The other thing, of course, that was interesting is when I was unboxing it, I came across the Allen key, which I wondered about, and also the bag of screws there, and a few other bits and pieces that came with it. Well, the answer to that was, and kind of quite obviously, that's actually how the handle attaches here. And that's something which I really like, just quickly assembled it now as it's come out the box, that there are lots of different options, assembly options. It doesn't have to be like I've got it here, which, I mean, this is the classic way of having it, but it doesn't have to be in this configuration. This handle can come off and you can attach the viewfinder directly to the camera. It's reasonably simple, just these screws here. There's two of them down there. Take those out, take that off, and then this can mount directly onto the viewfinder, onto the camera, which makes it a lot smaller and more compact. I mean, even this here has the option of being placed, not in that position there, but it could be placed there, or possibly there. I don't know why that would work. I mean, there does seem ridiculously high for me, but there may be reasons where that would work. But thanks to the fact that it's got two options with the hot shoe mount, it makes it a lot easier. And I really like that because I'm often mounting things, radio mics, you know, Atomos, Ninja, or Shogun as well. So there's lots of different options there of where to mount it, which is really good, I think. I mean, of course, I would like to switch it on, but to switch it on, we first of all need to put a lens on it. In actual fact, when we got the camera, we also got with it my favourite, what's become kind of like the stock lens when I've been using the C100 or C300 previously. It's the 24-70 2.8 lens is fantastic. It's the one I would probably use the most, certainly with a lot of the interviews that I'm doing. So we've got a double unboxing if we are interested in seeing two things unboxed. We've got this one as well. This is the version 2 of the lens. I mean, I find 2.8 is great for video. There are other options that are more like f4, but I find that a little too slow for the video. Obviously a lens hood there, and nicely packaged. I can't remember if it actually comes with its own bag. I'm kind of hoping to. Actually, the answer is actually, it was in the top there, because I always like to keep things in bags and nice and neat, especially lenses. I mean, they say, of course, that the secret to any good camera is the glass that you put in front of it, and so good, fast Canon glass, and a stock lens like this, well, it's not a stock lens, it is to me, but is excellent to have something like this, which, I mean, I've also got wide 11-16 Patina and a 70-200 for really long lens stuff, but this lens is very, very good and versatile. It covers most of things. And I love to see a lens when it's so new. I always put protectors on the front just so that they never get marked. And certainly this one will be no exception. Being a lovely new lens. So let's put this lens on our new, just unboxed C100. And of course the camera's switched off, no hot swapping here. Right, and of course immediately it looks much better, a camera with a lens on it. As you can see, let's take that off. It's looking a lot more like what the promotional shots are. In fact, I can't remember, does it have something similar on there? Is that the 24? I can't quite see. I think it is actually. But the next, of course, exciting thing to do is to switch it on. But before we do that, we do need to put a battery on it. And it goes in there. And it's not fully charged yet. I think that it's Well, actually, it's not too far away. So I believe it's the same as the others. It will just slot in there like that. Yep, that sounds good and secure. Right, so we've got a battery, we've got a lens, so our unboxing can conclude with turning it on. And I mean, one of the things about the camera, it doesn't seem like anything has dramatically changed. There are a few little changes, but generally everything's in the same position, which I think is great, especially with using the camera as part of a maybe multi-camera setup. But to turn it on, we need to flick a switch. We've got a fan kicking in. I'm not sure if that'll be picked up on the mic. I can already see levels changing here. I'll see if I can get this on the camera here, if I focus it. So I'm not sure if you can see, but we actually already have levels, so obviously I have connected the cables correctly. As you can see that there are video and audio cables that go to the video and audio sockets in here. So I must have that correct. Actually, I don't know where the external microphone is that's actually picking that up, but I have a feeling when I read about it that it's actually placed on the body so that when the handle's removed you also have a mic. I think maybe that's it there. But of course the other thing we want to see is there a picture? Well, let's first of all check the viewfinder. Take that out. And yep, I can already see in there, if you can see, but there is a setting there for setting the clock, the usual thing when you turn the camera on. And if I flip the screen here, some settings to start setting, but we've definitely got an operational camera going on there. So that is the finale of the unboxing of the C300 Mark II, which is going to be a marked difference, if you excuse the pun, because it's 4K, and 4K is of course the next big thing. Well, until 6 and 8K, which apparently is already in the works from Canon.